Hello and welcome, everyone. Let us begin with the pledge and the four-way salute. Jody.
All right, please follow me. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. And on the four-way test, first of the things we think, say, or do, first, is it the truth? Second, is it fair to all concerned? Third, will it build goodwill? And fourth, is be beneficial to all concerned. And maybe later today, my tongue will work, but.
Thank you, Jody. Let's see, our inspiration for the day is none other than, where's Brenda? Brenda Patton. Inspiration.
So I'll just give my little morning meditation prayer that I do, that I've done every time I've gotten up here, but I like to do it daily because it's something I want to remember on a daily basis. But it goes, oh great mother, I appeal to all of the positive powers in the universe, the great mystery. I seek enlightenment and to be mindful, grateful, and non-judgmental. I search for truth and expanded awareness. And I acknowledge that truth has many aspects and love is large enough to encompass them all. May I always trust in love and the process and show up each day as the best version of myself. Give me the strength to rise above all fear and negative conditioning. Reveal to me all the ways in which I can serve. Let me have the wisdom to use my resources, my gifts, my blessings, and my opportunities for the betterment of all creation. Let the harmony and love flow inward and outward. Oh, it is so. Thank you.
Thank you, Brenda. I did not see any visitors, but if I'm mistaken, okay, I'm getting the clear sign. All right, thank you. Well, let's begin with Kirk, and I believe we have a Paul Harris Fellowship Award to be dispersed today.
Okay, we've talked about this before, that, becoming a Paul Harris Fellow is a milestone, but it's not the end of our journey. And so we continue to honor those Rotarians who can contribute an additional $1,000 to the Rotary Foundation by giving them another Paul Harris pin with either an additional blue stone or a red stone. Today we have two Rotarians that I would like to come forward, and we will honor them with their pins. First off is Park Kellenberg. And the second is Judy Basker. So today I have the privilege of presenting to Park a Paul Harris +2. So you contributed your $3,000 to the Rotary Foundation. And don't go away. And Judy Basker, my pleasure to present you with your pin that has two red stones signifying Paul Harris +7. Wow. Now, I'm going to do something a little different today. I'm going to ask each one of you to tell us why you support the Rotary Foundation the way you do.
Let me think about that. Well, I like Rotary and support Rotary primarily because it's non-political and non-religious, and a service organization. And I don't have very many skills in the manual labor area. And so I'm able to use my other skills of a supervisory nature. Anyway, it's just great to be part of a group where there are different ways in which you can contribute. And I feel really proud to donate to Rotary. I think having enough is a blessing, and that if you have enough, it's your pleasure to share with others.
And it's really for Bonnie and I. We both believe in helping other people, and that's obviously the focus of Rotary. And for some reason, my name gets stuck on it, but it's what Bonnie and I believe in. It's what Rotary believes in. So that's why we support it.
Thank you, congratulations.
Thank you, Garth, and thanks to Bonnie and Bart for the generous donations. I think the next thing is another fun thing we're gonna do, which was, I think it's called an induction, but induction actually sounds like a science experiment to me, but we're gonna bring Tim Sweeney into our club.
So I would like to introduce Tim to you. Road Gateway Rotary welcomed you. And he's a distinguished member from the Coquille Rotary Club. After spending 15 years in various parts of Oregon, dedicating himself to the advancement of education as a superintendent of schools, Tim has returned to his roots in Grants Pass. Now serving as the superintendent of District 7 schools, he and his wife are thrilled to be back in Grants Pass. Throughout his tenure with the Coquille Rotary Club, Tim passionately engaged in projects that directly benefited students, with a particular fondness for the Coquille Easter egg hunt that provided fun for over 400 area students. It's the spirit of community service and his commitment to enriching the lives of the young that makes Tim such a valued addition to our club. Alongside his professional achievements, Tim and his wife relish the joys of exploration and recreation. They are outdoor enthusiasts, embarking on monthly RV trips to Yachats, Oregon, where the lack of cell service allows them to fully immerse in the beauty of the coast. And that should happen for all of us. For love of reading, often with a beach view. Their adventurous spirit often leads them to kayak the serene waters of Lost Creek Lake and Applegate Lake, enjoying thrilling jet boat trips on the Rogue River, and nurture a passion for nature through gardening. Among the wide range of literature they enjoy, Tim's all-time favorite is the saga of the Lord of the Rings. As Tim joins Road Gateway, he brings with him not only a wealth of professional experience, but also a deep-seated passion for engaging in student-focused projects. We warmly welcome Tim and look forward to the adventures and accomplishments we will share both with Rotary Club and in the wider community endeavors. And I met him as a member of, I'm on the committee for the PAC, the Performing Arts Center at the high school. And Tim is, of course, on that committee because he's the boss. Who would like to say?
I just thank you for the warm welcome. I appreciate that a great deal. I really have enjoyed my years in the Coquille Rotary, and I know I'm going to enjoy being part of this club as well. Looking forward to seeing the different ways we can serve our children in the community and partnering with the district and the Rotary together. So thank you all.
Thank you, Tim, and welcome to our club. We'll do announcements, but let's keep it brief, keep it moving. I've got a couple The district celebration conference, May 3rd to May 5. We would like to contribute a basket that they use in the auction. It's usually full of wine bottles and goodies and whatever. But we gotta get going on that thing. But we've got about a month. Don't forget, next week is the four-way speech contest, just our club, North Valley High School. We've got 3 judges picked out. 2 weeks later, on the 25th, is the area-wide contest. There may only be one other student from one other school. We're trying to encourage them to apply, but anyway, so that's coming up. And then this just came in. I won't spend much time on it, but I don't know if you remember a man named Jorge Padilla. He's a teacher at School District 7. He coordinated with us during COVID, the literacy program, when we were teaching kids, helping tutoring kids online. Anyway, they have a big project to raise $300,000. They're about halfway there for an all-inclusive playground at Redwood Elementary. And they've asked for a contribution to us. We can talk about it later. Like I said, it just came in yesterday. Sounds like a great cause, and I'll bring a little more later. But I just want to plant that seed, all-inclusive. That means children who either some disability or something involved, and they really don't have access to the play equipment. And this is to create an all-inclusive playground. So with that, Jamie.
Okay, so some of you guys probably have heard Doug talk about this, but some of us in the club are working on Hillcrest Veterans Village, which is going to be duplexes and triplexes for low-income veterans that will be built in the northeast part of Grants Pass. So to kick off fundraising, we're doing a yard art auction. And you guys would not believe the really cool pieces that Doug and his gang are making, plus the beautiful pieces that are coming in from artists all around Grants Pass. So I would love to have you guys go onto Facebook, look for Hillcrest Veterans Village, and check out some of the artwork. And then you'll see when the auction is going live, when you can view the pieces live and all of that. But if you'll just start by liking our Facebook page, we'd really appreciate it. This is going to be a very cool place for our veterans in need. Thank you.
Hi, 2 quick announcements. One is a reminder about the blue bag bottle drop. Every year, the Oregon Bottle Drop Program has 2 matching programs. One's during the winter holidays and one's during Earth Week. So if you have bags that you're nearly full, hang on to them until April 22nd. Between April 22nd and May 4th, we get 20% bonus for all of the bottles that we bring back in return of blue bags. One caveat, you're limited to 15 bags a day to bring thing. So I already have the ones from the Autosmith. So I have 6 or 7 at home. I'll be spreading those out over 2 or 3 days. So don't everybody go in on April 22nd and bring in 5 bags each, or we'll get nothing, because when we go over 15, we get nothing. So if you have a couple, spread them out, come a couple of times. There's almost 2 weeks there between April 22nd and May 4th. So just help us out that way. And we use that money to augment the revenue that we get in our foundation, primarily to help with Sports Fest, but also other kinds of things. And we average about $2,000 a year. So thanks for participating in that. And speaking of that, the last thing I'll say, talking about raising money, if you got the email that I sent around to everyone, we have exceeded our goal for the PAC Community Partnership. We began with a goal of a silver recognition, which requires $5,000. We had some matching pledges, and we have now received $8,100, which means we are over the gold level of $7,500, and we're only $1,900 short of the highest level, platinum level, which comes with a 1 foot by 2 foot plaque that will be on display during the 25th anniversary celebration, May 18th. And also part of the slideshow that will be part of that program. So if you want to help us push over the edge, we need just $1,900 more to make the platinum level. And thanks for all the support to get us beyond where we were headed. Tickets for the celebration. No, you were the last one to tell me anything, and I think it was under 100. So we do have, and that email I sent out has a link to buy tickets to the celebration. And if we get the platinum level, we'll get 10 free tickets that we'll give out to our top donors. So
Hey,
thanks very much, everyone.
Get in here.
We've already got 27 members participate. Thanks very much.
Come on, get in here. You get away from
Okay,
me.
I think that takes us to our program, and I see our star presenter has arrived, and I believe Steve, are you gonna do the introduction?
Need to go in the house. Come on, I'll get you.
I don't know if you're, so as most of you know, my wife Christy is a first grade teacher at Highlandale, or she was at Highland for many years. She's at Allendale Elementary now. And one of the things that she has noticed and we have noticed is the need for pre-K education in our community and more like in the world, I guess. And that 0 to 5 is such an important age for children to develop. And I think it's very often underestimated in our funding for our priorities. And getting kids ready for kindergarten is such an important part. We think, oh, kindergarten doesn't matter. Kindergarten really matters, and really all the things that go along with that. And so Grants Pass School District 7 has set up a program with Blanchard to talk about what we can do to improve things. And so to improve life for children as well as families. And so Annie's going to talk about this development that's Highland Elementary, and hopefully we roll out to other schools in School District 7 and wider in the community. So Annie, please come forward. Thank you.
Wow, this is a lot. Last time I was here, my daughter was Rotary student and I thought she was gonna grow up because she was so nice. So, hi Kelly. Kelly was my music teacher at Lincoln, and us little kids grow up to be big people who do really important work in our community. So thanks for the work that you guys do, and I'm excited to be here to share the work that we're a part of. And I say we as a community because all these children are ours. They're gonna make your coffee, they're going to change your tire, and they're gonna come back and help asking for support so we can all work together. This is what my group looks like. This is what I was raising here from. I do play groups for our school district, and I do those 3 days a week. We service all of our District 7 elementary schools. So I meet with Highland and Parkside on Tuesdays, and Lincoln and Riverside Wednesday, and Thursdays I meet with Redwood and Allendale families. You can click to the next one. So our vision is to build an early learning program that promotes positive, healthy parent-child connections. That's really, really lacking right now. Our families are struggling in our community, especially coming back after a pandemic. I think we're all struggling. And we want to increase access to community resources and early learning opportunities for families. There's so many wonderful resources out there and programs, but families are so saturated and so overwhelmed that we need people in our community to help them navigate what's out there for them. And so I get to be that person that kind of works as a liaison between early learning and our school system, which is really a great. This morning I was up at the AHS talking to them about their families and how we can all work together. And the presenter there that I was working with, that I've been emailing back and forth, I had her son in 4th grade like years ago. So it's just really neat to see these threads that we've kind of woven throughout our community. Okay, next one. So these are our community partners. I'm not sure if you guys are aware, but our early learning budget does not exist really until this year. We had to advocate. We don't kind of pull from that K-12 funding stream. So early learning doesn't come from that. It's donations, it's tuition, it's volunteers, and lots of grants. So that's why I'm here today. So we have some great community partners that have contributed to me being able to kind of lead the work, but it's not going to end with me. We need to grow it, and that starts with staffing. So All Care Board Foundation, the Family Connection, is sponsoring all of our family workshops and our parenting workshops. Options, Asante, Seven Oregon Early Learning Hub donates books, so all of our families leave our playgroups with a book every week. And we just launched a community-wide fundraising campaign to donate. We partnered with Redwood Foundation for Education. And so they're housing our funds so we can all contribute. Any contribution is helpful, and that can kind of help hire staffing, that can help remove barriers for transportation for families. We can provide vouchers for families to get to playgroup, just lots of great opportunities. Okay. Okay. Next slide. That's okay. So I'm just the next slide will pop up. I'll talk to you about some of our success stories. So this early learning program is not so I can kind of drill the alphabet and counting and all that stuff. It's really to, I'm teaching in kind of a lab style. So families are there with their child. I have just usually one parent that's there or grandparents that come. And I'm modeling social, like those transitions and how to advocate for themselves. I'm kind of helping parents step back a little bit. Like today, one of my kiddos sat on his mom's lap and he said, oh, we're getting ready for kindergarten and everybody's gonna sit in their own dot spot. I'm helping families navigate problem solving skills. And so children are having disagreements, I'll say, hey, Kelly, do you mind if I step in and navigate? Yes, every time they need help. And so I get to model best practice. I get to model staying calm. I had a sticky note on my monitor at the end of the day the other day, and from my mom it said, I am so impressed with how calm and patient you are. And that's just our world. And you just have to slow it down and model that for our families. So we have a couple kids in our playgroup that have been, for lack of better terms, uninvited from lots of programs in our community, daycare, preschool, because their behavioral needs far surpass the needs of, or the skills that the staff members have. So some facilities are really stuck with, do I let my staff go or do I let these kids go? So it's been really challenging. Those kids still need a place to go. So they come to our playgroup. We don't uninvite. They're all coming to us. They're going to be our District 7 kiddos. So I've been able to meet with these families. You could click to the next slide. And do a developmental screener on these kids. Every single family I've met with, and four of those kids that were uninvited had behavioral and some disabilities that kind of made it so that they couldn't function in a normal environment or a typical preschool classroom. So we were able to get them plugged into Gilbert Creek Early Intervention. So those kids that would have not been in a classroom until September of 2024 are now in a preschool program 4 days a week and being exposed, and they're getting help. So I feel so fortunate that we've been able to offer those services to families. This little boy right here, huge anxiety with COVID baby. He'd never been around any other kids or his family. And I took a picture because he's holding up an orange. We have snack time together, and I explained to parents that you have to empower your kids to like do things for themselves. We live in a world where parents are scared and they want to protect their babies. We all do. My mommy feathers come out still. And the way we do that is by giving them the skills to advocate for themselves, even feeling an orange. So I said, parents, this is going to be really hard for you, but I want you to watch as your child figures this out. And I taught them 3 different strategies. You could bite with the teeth. You could use a butter knife, and we learned the letter X. Crispy, Frosty makes an X. You can cut it like an X, or you can use your nail. And it took the kid 2 playgroups, and he finally could peel his own orange. And mom, you could see, is probably more proud than he is. And it was just a really great moment. So, okay. Parent feedback that we're hearing. Another family, she has siblings this little girl has siblings that are 10 years older, and mom didn't realize what she was expecting from her 4-year-old was not developmentally appropriate. She was expecting him to do things that her 10-year-old sister was doing and her 15-year-old sister was doing. And she's like, oh my goodness, we're doing lots of fine motor, Play-Doh, we do water play. We're using our pincher fingers to put stickers and work on fine motor and all those things. I was telling the families, these are pre-writing skills. These things Our kids are not using these fingers very much anymore like this, they're using it like this. And so we have to develop those skills. And it doesn't mean putting a pencil in their hand and expecting them right away to write the letters correctly. I told them that's what we do in kindergarten. Our kindergarten curriculum is to learn all the letter names and sounds and count to 100 and do all those things. We need to get them ready to learn and build those skills. So I've just really enjoyed hearing family feedback on them. We also offer wraparound services. We know our school system is very similar to our healthcare system and other systems that families have a lack of trust in. It's very scary to go to the doctor's office. And some people, I always say, when parents walk into our school, we see the children's future, parents see their past. And let's be honest, some of us didn't have great experiences. Kelly, I hope you're proud now. I probably wasn't the best little kiddo, but I was the youngest of 4. I was a survivor. And we do see their future, but we have to keep in mind that their parents have this fear. So we've had our in-house speech pathologists and our nurses do hearing screening and vision screening. We have Siskiyou Community Healthcare that has come and they are doing our dental screening and all those services just right in our playgroups. And it's been really wonderful. This little guy right here with the cute little blue glasses, he was one of our uninvited friends. Oh, I just fell in love with him. And he was having a hard time just with personal space. He was getting into everything and touching everything because he couldn't see. He always got up and he was touching my smart board. And as soon as we got his vision checked, we got him glasses and he could see. So it's just easy to really judge these kids like, oh, they're naughty, they're this, they're that. You know, we got to dig deeper, and that's what I'm able to do in these playgroups. And that's what I'm able to help families see that, oh, nothing's wrong with my kid. Like maybe I missed something. So some really great. Oh, and the other thing, like yesterday we just started nutrition class. So OSU has an extension program, and they are coming in and teaching our Food Hero program. So it's so fun. They got to talk about all the different colors of the rainbow and different colors of foods that fall in those categories. And we made a smoothie with carrots and peaches and bananas. And every single kid tried it. Really impressed, yeah. So it was great. Okay, next. Also, just access to early learning. So I get to kind of reframe what early learning looks like. I think in our community, as a parent, we want I know I taught 4th grade for years and then I taught kindergarten. And I told my husband, I was like, our kids are going to know how to read and they're going to know their math facts and they're not going to play video games. You know, that's all my 4th graders will talk about, you know, and so I think we have to kind of step out of that mindset and think our kids are going to learn how to read. We don't have a baby that just goes from being born to walking. Like we skip all those important skills along the way. And so I get to kind of highlight what those really important early learning skills are. And it's not yet the pencil, paper, and your child's reading. It's you reading to your child. It's you making connections, reading with them on your lap, reading with you facing them so they can see your expression and getting to model all those things that don't require you having a curriculum at home other than just time. And as our kids get older, we all know this, they don't want to be around us as much. So kind of maximizing that time with them. Okay, next. And also building friendships. So many of these kids that we're serving, there is no bullet on how you qualify. It's open to everyone. It's free. I have kids that are in Head Start. I have kids that go to private preschool. I have kids that don't qualify. They're just short of the threshold for Head Start and they don't have enough funds for private preschool. So we serve them all. And these kids would not have the opportunity to make friendships. And just this morning we were at our water play station and one of the kids was like, hey, I want that. And I said, gosh, you know, we just
Trump supporter I haven't seen in a while.
and I said, what should we do about it? And we talked about different ways that we could share. You know, I could ask, but he just got it, so I knew he was going to get it.
Drive by.
We had timers, like, would that be a good
Go get my
tool?
gun.
So I showed him where our sand timers were, and he turned over the sand timer. And, as parents, I think
Well, that's the
oftentimes
thing, it's
we
like-
make our kids give something up for the other
It's
kid.
too cold,
And
you know what I
then,
mean?
now that I'm raising
Plain and
teenagers,
simple.
I see what that looks
Yeah.
like now when they're teenagers. I don't want
Right
my
is a
daughter
choice.
to say
Steering
yes
is
to
a choice.
anything
I
that
know,
she
you
doesn't
know,
feel right
yeah, it
about.
really
And it
is.
starts at a really young
So I don't
age,
know where
learning
it's
to
all
say
gonna
no
take us, but so
and
far it doesn't
practicing
look
those
all that
skills.
great.
So they
You know,
are
I don't
really,
know,
such
arguments
a wonderful
with
opportunity to
people
build those
nonstop,
friendship skills
you know? Oh, yeah.
and,
It can be
all
exhausting.
right,
Yeah,
next.
I'm telling you.
Healthy
Huh?
snacks,
It can be
so,
exhausting.
this is
Yeah,
the
it
other
is.
important
It's like
thing.
a Sergeant gravity
I remember
with
talking to
fire.
my son's
No,
pediatrician, I was like,
I
oh my
know,
gosh,
it
please help
really
me,
is, you know,
teenagers
it's like,
talk.
it's unbelievable.
And we're supposed to
And,
know this, we're educators,
I
right?
see it
My
everywhere,
husband
like I'll
and
be
I.
watching TV and
With your first, you're learning all along the way.
Well,
He said the most important thing you can do, we all know, is to
Hey,
eat and
here,
have
I have
meals
to,
together.
pick up truck.
And
Big
many of our
flag
families are
flying.
so busy, you're
Half
going
the
to
better.
sports, you're going to
It
gymnastics, and
wasn't
that
those
doesn't happen.
particular
So we
flags,
eat
but that
together
was the idea,
and the
like,
kids
oh.
serve each
big
other.
stuff,
So, we all wash our hands while we're singing a song, and
Really
someone
suffering more
passes
than
out the
Christ
water
did.
cups, and someone passes
Oh, yeah.
out the napkins.
Oh, yeah.
And
I will.
everybody has a
Yes,
part
right.
and a role, and
Yeah.
we are so proud
Every
of,
time he says,
so proud of it.
and no
then
one's
we're
seen anything
manners,
like it.
please,
That's
no, thank
omniscience.
you. And it took a while to
I'm
train
right.
parents
He
to
sees
step
everything.
back
It's just
and like,
unbelievable.
just
really.
say,
Yeah.
giving members the kids voice, like, hey, I got this, thank you, I got this.
Laugh at it.
And
I
now
know.
I feel like
It
we
is.
can just kind of
Really
run
crazy.
this program, it's pretty
Like
cool.
to my friend, I got a good friend, he's a supporter. He's
Hey,
consistent.
parent
Well,
community, this is a really
hey,
big one,
can't
because
these
we know
guys
that
come up
parents
with
are their
something more creative?
the most important teachers.
I mean, why, don't you see,
And our kids went through
from a
COVID, so did
non-partisan
we.
point of view, that
I
calling your
mean, big time. So
opponents
these
bad because
families
they have
are
their eyes
having
open?
to
You
step
know,
back in the workforce, or maybe
starting point,
they're
yeah.
not able to go back to
No,
work
I know.
because they can't
Why,
afford
yeah, you guys
childcare.
go, "Well,
And
that's bad?
so
Yeah,
we've got
yeah,
families that are
with
stressed
their eyes
out that
open?
need
That's
support.
right.
We were able to
So
use our
it's really
grant funds
crazy,
through the
I
Board
must
Foundation
admit.
to purchase
Crazy,
wreaths from our
crazy.
high school ski team
Well,
and kind of
tell
gift
these
this
people
night
that-
to all of our
why don't you
families, so
just
they
get
got to
someone in there
come. I
like
asked them first, I
ask
said, do
them,
you
it
have
just
a
isn't the
big
same guy.
family night, or do you parents to pay the night out?
People would give
And
to be
hands down, the parents
to
were like,
allow him to
yeah,
get
right.
order.
And
I
I
think
said,
that I
great,
am the most.
so we hosted this, we had snacks, we had music,
Yeah, but they're
and it was
gonna
just a
throw
couple
that away
hours, we
because
all came
it's
together,
going
we got to decorate
on
wreaths
the
together, and just
anchor
have
on
fun
the
and
neck.
connect. Families are in playgroups, are connecting outside of playgroup time, they're going to
I
story
think
time at the
that's really
library and other community events, they're all playing on the same soccer team, and so it's
Well,
been really great to see this kind of roundabout, way of addressing, helping families and their kids, so.
No,
All
I'm not.
right.
No.
Next,
But,
we
you're in front
offer
of.
free parenting workshops, and those have been pretty well attended.
So-
We have free childcare, dinner provided,
I get this.
and we're helping families navigate how to raise kids in a really.
I don't wanna
different
interrupt.
way.
No.
So those have been
Because-
great.
Well,
I'm gonna have you skip through this one. Yeah. So what is next? So like I said, we are really, part of my job is, you saw me, or you didn't see me, but you saw the picture. I'm on the carpet playing and connecting with kids and families, and then I'm here talking to you guys, I'm out in the community, I'm in the classroom, I still mentor kindergarten teachers. We need to get this program going and make it sustainable. And we can't do great work without amazing people. And I need more of me. And so, I don't want to do something and not do it well. If we're going to do it, I'm so thankful that our district is supportive of this work. And so I'm grant writing, I'm talking to our community and letting people know what we need. We need funds. People to volunteer, if you want to come to stories, if you want to help out, we're trying to hire staff so we can increase our playgroups and have more playgroups at different times during the day, maybe an evening session. We're trying to hire staff so we can offer daycare services. So some families can't come to daycare or playgroup because they have little ones at home. And today I had a mom come in and she was apologizing up and down because she had her 2 little ones with her. And I said, just stop. I said, it's okay. Like, I'm not the number police. I'm not gonna tell you to leave, but her daycare fell through. And that's the other thing, that we've been super flexible. I had a mom who's taking college classes on Tuesdays and Thursdays and couldn't come to Thursday class and was crying. She's like, I can't make it anymore. I said, come on Wednesday. You know, so being able to be flexible to accommodate these families has been really a benefit, and that's how we kind of have to look at things anymore. So I think just continuing to raise funds and raise awareness, I'm happy to come talk and share the work we're doing. My door is always open. I feel like I'm teaching in a fishbowl. I've never cared less about what you think of me when you walk in. I actually, sometimes I forget people are in there. But it's just what we do. So if you guys want to come out, I'm out of Highland Elementary School. That's where we have the space to make it happen. We've got our fundraiser, and if you're interested in partnering and being involved in this work, please reach out to me. And if you guys have any questions or anything else? Hi. Oh.
How long have you been with this? So can you tell yet what difference you're making with the kids?
We just started. This is our first year, and yes. So she said, how long have you been in existence? Since September. Yeah. And I'm serving 24 families, and it's really open enrollment. I've had 2 more families. At times we're at 26. Like weekly families that come. And does that answer your question? I thought you had a.
Yeah, well, you can't tell necessarily like 5 years down the road.
Oh.
Will you be following some of these kids? Make the difference?
Oh, yes, that's part of, yeah, so she asked if we will be following some of these kids to see if that's part of our grant reporting too, and I'm also just a data nerd. So I'll totally be following all that stuff, and I want to know, and we have noticed in the past, families that do come to our kindergarten readiness classes, their children do perform better on our initial reading and math assessments once they get into school. So, yeah.
That's 20, is it 26 students? Is that district wide?
Mhm.
So that's it. Are they all held at the Highland?
It's all housed up at Highland right now. And our plan, I mean, our dream is to be able to have a playgroup at every single elementary school and have a preschool there. But what we've realized in doing this work, I think you have this vision, but you have to kind of follow what the community needs. And right now, we realize that we can't just have a drive-through system anymore where parents drive up and drop their kids off at school. We have to connect these families, and we have to wrap around these families. So that's what the playgroup is. They don't get to just drop their kid off and leave. They get to stay because every family needs some kind of help. We have, lending libraries. We have coffee. One mom today loves my biscotti. And I'm like, you know what? Whatever you need to be a successful family member. So, yes.
So I was curious, I think I've asked you this before, what model have you been using to run this program? Has there been another one you observed that you tried to?
She asked, what model are we using to kind of run this program? So it's based off of the Kaleidoscope Play and Learn model, the KPL model that our Early Learning Hub has done. And I have been working with them since the inception of our program. And they said, so the Kaleidoscope model is work to 5. And I just knew with just me, I can handle a lot, but I also had to realize, like, what is the focus of this program? Like, if I can't go all the way to birth yet, like I just started in kinder, we're going to 4 and 5-year-olds. And so we limited it. And so our Early Learning Hub said, create your own based off of this play and learn model. So it really is connecting those social interactions, playing, building those friendship skills, and then eventually, like next year, some of the grants I'm writing are for 3-year-old programs, like our 3-year-old kindergarten readiness program. We want to slowly start trickling that in, but that's all contingent on funding and having the staffing to make that happen. Yeah. Yeah.
Can you describe the funding model of where you're getting funds from grants and various things, which means you help explain it?
So how we're currently funded?
Yes.
Okay, so you want to explain how we're currently funded. So I'm here because of a pretty generous grant from All Care and the Ford Family Foundation. So those were our big ones, and our district is contributing in-kind funds because they have the space and me. And so we're using the funds that we have available. And right now, with our community-wide campaign, we have been bringing in more support. I'm applying for, I didn't know in this role that I was gonna be a grant writer, but I'm really getting good at it. And so I've been applying for all sorts of grants. So Asante has contributed money from their doctors and mid-level community partners, Evergreen's donating. We have, who else? Evergreen. The Family Connection has given us a $10,000 grant to do all of our parenting workshops and incentives. So we're able to buy parenting books and get gas cards. Siskiyou has donated a pretty hefty grant, and they're able to help us with coffee at playgroups and gas cards and gift cards, and additional money to help support our playgroup model.
If you need to do that again,
Every year. That's why we partnered with the Redwood Foundation for Education, because we want to get it robust and continue. Even every little bit counts. I know we started a payroll deduction for our school district to contribute to it. People always ask, well, what can you do? You know, we're going upstream, and every little bit counts. But it is like a 1 year at a time thing right now. Yeah. Currently, in AI, I'm learning AI. It's been a game changer. At first, I was like, what is this? It was so scary, and I'm so skeptical. But it has really helped save time. Yeah. Are you offering your services?
I've never written a grant in my life.
I am really actually learning to love it. Because it's really helped me clarify like what are our goals and what are my specific asks. And I think you have to know. And so it's helped keep me aligned with like what our district vision is for our families. And
You may have mentioned this, I'm sorry if I missed it, but
Okay.
how many people are on your team, or are you doing it all by yourself?
I have a great team that everybody has their own jobs. Tim is running our district, and Susan Vitola is my director. And I kind of brought it on myself though, because this program didn't exist. And I was at the point I've been teaching for 20 years. And if you guys can relate, you feel so passionately about something. I could have taught kindergarten forever with my eyes closed, and I still could. I loved it. But I just felt this pull. My own kids are they're 3 years from being out of the house, and I just needed to go upstream and do something. And I wrote my own proposal for my job, and I got grants, and our district said this needs to stay here, like this work needs to stay here. And I am so happy because I think that's the best place for it to happen, because the kids are coming to us. Yeah. And I'll add to that I am we're doing a professional learning team. I host meetings every 2 months with early learning providers in the area of YMCA and Head Start. Michelle Ballas and I have been contacting each other about preschool, lots of other preschool providers, and just bringing them to the table so we can talk about some of the struggles that we're seeing in the preschool daycare environment. And so I'm slowly building my team. It's just going to take a little bit.
I read a few studies, longitudinal studies that show the value and
Yes.
investment of high quality daycares. In some of the development projects that we explore for housing, there are funding available to build in space for daycare.
Mhm.
Is that a real need, finding space, or is it more about operational budgets to make it work for you all?
Tim, do you have any thoughts on that? Operational first, we do have space, like we have classroom space. We're talking with Gilbert Creek Early Intervention Services, because they have kids on the referral list. They have 88 families they haven't put into a program yet. And so we have empty classroom space, we just don't have the funds to staff it. And you guys know that staffing is the most valuable and it's the most expensive.
Space at the high school.
Yeah, and we do have a little bit of space at the high school. We're being creative.
Question of it.
Yes, Val, how are you?
I think what I've seen is staffing train, get the people, a lot of times when people go into childhood education, that's what they automatically jump into public school systems. And so what you often find people who are doing the staffing at the lower levels don't stick with it and have a problem. So is there any sort of training going on, like at the high school, lights? I mean, one of the things I like is children are very receptive to older children.
Yes.
That's real, something to utilize, that also kind of utilize
Yep.
that phase of kind of getting people interested in, and training to be a parent as a kid. It's so,
What Val's kind of referencing is how, correct me if I'm wrong, is, how we can utilize our high school students and older kids. And we do have a CTE program at the high school. I actually have a meeting in a couple weeks with our, directors and the teacher at the high school that does do that, because there are some really great high quality programs throughout the state. And that's kind of what I love about starting this new, is that we get to kind of make it work for our district and what do we want to make it look like, but also model after people that have done it and done it well. I am a huge efficiency person. I do not like wasting time. That's why I'm using AI. But if somebody's figured it out, we're gonna kind of model after that. So yes, we do think it's valuable. The piece about that is how much is too many people in a classroom. So my mindset is always like, what's best for the 4 and 5-year-olds, and high school, what's best for their students. So I think that's why it's hard to find a program that's perfect, because everybody's kind of married to their program. And so we have to kind of see what we need that to look like, but it's definitely, we have our high school volunteers come and they help out at daycare on our parent nights and honor society, avid kids. So we are trying to kind of slowly grow our own. Yeah. Thank you so much.
yes.
Paperwork, anybody wants?
Yeah, I asked.
Oh, it's okay.
And there's some information we'll put on the back, the pool table actually, which functions at the good table. Anyway, just a little more information donating to the early learning fund, and then just more information about the fund itself. And thank you, Annie, for coming. And I'd just like to say she embodies what I really admire in so many good teachers, which is just, it's not a job, it's a calling and a vocation, and just the passion and the love. And anyway, so thanks for coming, really appreciate it. And with that, Don, the great Don, is going to come and be our sergeant in arms.
Be mindful of time too.
Annie, I want to thank you. That was a wonderful presentation. You're doing a great program. So I thought as Sergeant at Arms today, because what Annie was doing, that I would share some things from the book in its 25th edition of All I Really Need to Know I Learned in Kindergarten by Robert Fulghum. So here you go. This is what you've learned in kindergarten. Think about it. Share everything, play fair, don't hit people, put things back where you found them. Clean up your own mess. Don't take things that aren't yours. Say you're sorry when you hurt somebody. An important one next, wash your hands before you eat. And those of us who have done food handling training, we understand that. Flush. Warm cookies and cold milk are good for you. Live a balanced life, learn some and drink some and draw some and paint some and sing and dance and play and work every day a little. Take a nap every afternoon. I'd like to do that. When you go out into the world, watch out for traffic, hold hands, and stick together. Because of wonder, remember the little seed in the Dixie cup when you were in kindergarten? The roots go down and the plant goes up and nobody really knows why. But we are all like that. Goldfish and hamsters and white mice and even the little seed in the Dixie cup, they all die. So do we. And then remember the Dick and Jane books, and the first word you learn, the biggest word of all, look. Okay, So now we're ready for Happy Bucks, but the first thing I want to do is I get to be the first Happy Buck person. $20 for Jody McDonald for the wonderful award that she won. She's Banner Bank's Best, which I think is wonderful. Steve Rowe put something in the Navigator about that. And I mean, how perfect, because Jody's passion is really making a difference for young kids in kindergarten and in elementary school. So with that, $20 for Jody, and carry on. Any other Happy Bucks? Luz? I've been lifting weights.
I'd like to start out with some redirected Happy Bucks. I'd like to chip in another $100 for Greg's PAC attempt to get us to the platinum level.
And I will chip in $100 to get up higher too, to match Luz's. So, anybody else? Ditto. Ditto. I'm gonna ditto plus. I'm gonna give $100 to the pack, and I'm gonna give $10 for the wonderful presentation and the passion and education, which I so thoroughly have enjoyed myself to see it passing on to the next generation. And $10 for Jody for being such a wonderful best banner person. Banner Bank's Best.
I have 5 Happy Bucks for Annie, who I adore. And I want to tell you, we kind of had the chills listening to you because what you're doing is so incredible. Thank you.
I'll throw in $100 for the PAC and another few bucks for being my first day as a member. I appreciate that, and for being able to work with Annie and the wonderful things she does. So, thank you.
Oh, no. Randy. I'll doing the $100 to the pack.
How are we doing, Greg?
I'm gonna do 10 for Happy Bucks for Jody's honor or in her award. And then also the little film at the end of our newsletter called the Yellow Umbrella. I really appreciated that.
So cookies make people happy too. And just a reminder, in the navigator that Bev just mentioned is the instructions for how to write your check to the RG Rotary Foundation with PAC in the memo line, and get it to either Gia Marie or to Jan Jones, who's Secretary Treasurer of the foundation, our foundation. Also you got an email from me with instructions. So unfortunately, we don't have PayPal or card swipe things or anything like that. So we do have to do it the old fashioned way, but so far we've done pretty well the old fashioned way. One thing I forgot to mention in the announcement at the beginning about the program, I said we had 27 members donate. 7 of those members donated enough that they could have got individual recognition, but instead joined us. So that's the epitome of service above self. So they skipped their own individual recognition so the club could get it.
Wow, I honoring the generations of teachers. I look at you, Annie, and I'm proud. And I'm proud you're carrying on
a love that hopefully you got to feel from us and look at you. And I'm so proud of what you're doing. But I'm also proud of what your husband's doing. And he's on a committee with Tim and myself and Tommy and others that are doing this PAC work and how important it is. And Annie knows full well and remembers the shows. So many shows at the PAC and how important that was to all of us and continues to be. It's a legacy. And so all of you that are contributing to it, you have our hearts.
Okay, Judy, we still have 5 minutes.
I'll do another $100 for the patent.
I would like to do $20. I'm gonna call this the School District 7 Conversions. And it started with Janie sent me this information from Jorge Padilla, help raising money for the all-inclusive park at Redwood Elementary. Today, we have a new member, Tim from School District 7, and our speaker, School District 7 as well. So thanks to all the people from School District 7.
I got $5 because somebody put chocolate candy on the table for us. That's lovely. But also more seriously, that fundraising yard auction thing. We're doing the spreadsheet, putting everything on the spreadsheet. We have over 100 items right now, which is fantastic. And I think we'll probably end up with another 10 or so more. Some of them are small, so we may not actually have them on the website, but there'll be a bunch of stuff during that weekend if people want to come by and look at them. Where's Dawn? Where'd Dawn go?
Why am I not done? We're done, we're all cards. Shoot.
Okay, I am. Bonnie, all right, you first. Good. Good.
I was just trying to join the $100 club.
Yay. I feel like this is a live auction. Mayor, $100 out for exit county. I like that. All right, so we do have cards and shoot, I bought a bunch of cards and forgot all about it. And the card is the Queen of Spades. Oh, there you go. Good. All right, now it's back to you, El Presidente.
Thank you, Don. Like many of you, Dawn is always entertaining. I have to enjoy. I have to say, I really enjoy when she gets the microphone. I come up with these thoughts for the day. They're kind of random. I look at books I like and authors and whatever. And what's interesting is always almost a coincidence that I pick something out randomly, and it seems to apply to what happens today. I think the word for that is synchronicity, I believe. Anyway, this friend of mine, an old friend from high school, sent me a poem recently. And as you were showing us pictures of those little kids, I was thinking of this. Actually, it's a line from this poem about moments of light. That's what I was thinking, moments of light. Anyway, here's just a excerpt from this poem that a friend wrote me or sent me. He says, and our work is to catch moments of light. Put every little moment you collect into the Valentine-shaped bin. Don't just toss it in. Arrange it carefully next to all the other treasures. They are connected. Thank you.